All right, guys. Hey, welcome. We are jumping into Fallout. Fallout Wasteland Reborn. I have been trying to get this mod list downloaded and working on my computer um, for for I think at least a year, if not 2 years now, and finally got it to download properly and give me everything that I needed. And so let's get into it. We already created the character. We'll see our character in just a moment. We'll get jumping on over there. Now, Wasteland Reborn is another mod list that really tries to play on um, the things that we got back from um, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. So it uses that kind of level menu, and so we have that, and you can see just with the HUD, it looks like that. This is our character. We got some work to do on her though, so I am going to modify her a little bit. Uh, Her name is Lita Brooks. So we're going to go back in the first person. I hate the custom camera that all these mod lists are starting to just always put in there. It's like, why? Unnecessary. So now the other thing is they have the silent protagonist. I don't care for that at all. We're not doing one of those, you know, the one person that did it the best in my opinion is Rycon. He would do his Rycon role plays, and yeah, that's perfect for someone like him who's that good at it. Me, we're just wanting to play the game and we're wanting to go through. So that'll be something that I'll end up shutting off. I just forgot about it when I was starting this one up. So we'll definitely get rid of that silent protagonist. So you just have to bear with me right off the bat because we're not going to get any of her oh god, you know, I'll find him and stuff like that. We're not even getting the dialogue, right? Um, what do you call it? Subtitles. All right, so we'll come on over here. Now, I was watching. Oh, and I thought I had already named her, but I guess I didn't. And I was watching, and this isn't normally the way I go about it. So, um, this is going to be kind of interesting for me. This is the gunslinger build, and I will have to look up that video and make sure that I got everything right. But this is the gunslinger build. You want high perception, decent endurance. The gunslinger isn't going to have the greatest amount of charisma and intelligence, but enough, right? And the key is you want to have the AP points, the agility, and then an extreme amount of luck. So, and then when I find the video, I will link it in the description, and that way you guys can see what I'm kind of going with, because this is completely opposite of the way I usually play. Usually I go with high strength, decent perception, decent charisma, and very high intelligence. Because intelligence is what's going to give you your experience points and also give you your skill points. So I think it's for a role player, it doesn't, I mean, to role play, is one thing, and that's exactly what you're doing, right? You're playing a non-intelligent character, but for me, I always like to play an intelligent character, and also I want the most amount of experience and the most amount of skill points that I'm going to get each time I level up. So here, it's like it's counter to what I truly want in the game, and who knows, but I might find myself boosting this as the game goes along, saying, you know what, my character is getting smarter and smarter as we're going along here. So we'll see. Strength, anyone that watches any of my playthroughs knows that I loot. I loot like there's no tomorrow. So having low strength so I can't carry much, that's counter to how I normally play. So these two are very counter to how I play. Charisma is not a big deal. I like to have high charisma because of persuasion checks and things like that, but it's not a big deal, right? I like bats, so perception really does, and agility do play in there. Um, I don't know that I really agree with the need for high luck, but okay. So that's how we're going to play it. And then we're going to open the door. Now, right off the bat, um, you're going to see we're going to get some stuff coming there, right? Your exceptional system status, your sole survivor, things like that. One thing I always play with is immersive containers. Now, what I do like is the ability here is you can see the utility jumpsuit. You can equip it if you want. I want to go in here and just take a look real quick. So the jumpsuit, that's fine, right? But I think this one is the utility jumpsuit compared to just the jumpsuit. So the jumpsuit gives you damage protection. Well, not really damage protection, but it gives you some protection. Where we're just going to take that. And as you can see here, it gives me personality, but it doesn't give me any protections. So I don't see the point in equipping that. So now the thing is, and I didn't look, but we'll look, you can see our carry weight is only about 130. And so right off the bat, we don't get like all the carry weight that we want, so I have to be very selective in what I don't know why I keep grabbing the military folders, but I do. I don't think they really do anything for me, in truth, but I grab them anyway. And then Wonder Glue for sure, the lighters, the bottles, the cigarettes. Now, a lot of times I get them not for the cloth, but to sell. So they're kind of now. Unfortunately, we can't equip that right now, but that's a range rifle. I'll take it. Wonder Glue, cigarettes. Now we are on survival mode, but I did turn on the autosave feature, timed autosave. So periodically it just goes in and it just autosaves. Me personally, um, and the thing is, you got to keep in mind, I don't necessarily agree with every single aspect of what survival is supposed to mean as opposed to gameplay. Because two things, right? Yes, you want your gameplay to be as realistic as can be, and you want to um basically, I don't want to say suffer, but you want the game to be challenging, right? And now, did I hit him? I don't know, but we'll see. You want the game to be challenging, but I don't want it to be so challenging that it's not fun to play. All right, so we got Mr. and Mrs. Dennett's password. I don't know what that's going to be used for, but okay. The Power Fist. I just don't know. I mean, it's only 4. The weight. All right, I'll take it for now. If I figure that there's other things that I. All right. In playing both, um, Starfield and Fallout at the same time, trying to figure out which one how to crouch. It's a little a little cumbersome in a sense. Don't know. I'm just gonna take that one. Nope, it's not one. I thought it was a special one. Now, here's the funny thing is, I always go in here and I take the holotape, but I don't really want it. All right. Okay. Can't sleep right now. Now you notice I don't take the folder, but I do take the military folders, which is weird, in my opinion. All right, so while we're here, and this is why I'm fine with picking up all the bottles. Okay, now, one thing I'm gonna do is quick save, and then we can even save. Alright, so that is kind of scary. That bug right there was extremely scary. That was a big bug. And I have to be honest with you, when I was just playtesting through this, now I drank as much water as I dared to drink, but when I went in and tested it out the first time, yeah, it killed me. It literally killed me. And I was like, holy cow, that's a... Oh, there you go, see? There we go. Now we're getting some good loots. Right. Can't take everything. Definitely got to take the Wonder Glue for sure. Oh dang, I didn't want to take that. Sometimes you get carried away. Now, the one thing I also found very interesting there, they're not usually that aggressive, that they come at me right there, like immediately, right? You know, they're just going around. All right, another combat knife. We'll take it. All right, I think cigarettes. All right, bobby pin. What am I blocking? Anti-tank rifle. Yeah, we're getting close. We're not gonna be able to get everything. There it is. Where's that power fist? See, right off the bat, we gotta get rid of that, which is fine. If I have to question it, question picking it up anyway. Alright, so we're already over encumbered again. So we gotta get rid of something as I keep picking up more and more stuff. Okay. Let's see. We got the rifle. What is this? Oh, the anti-tank rifle. 43. It's worth a lot of money though. How much? Wait, we're 2 pounds over. That doesn't weigh anything. Okay. We have 15 cartons of cigarettes. Alright, where are we at? We got 5 pounds. Is that gonna be enough? We may have to unload some more stuff soon. Alright, hold on a sec. Quick save. We're still in danger. As soon as we fill about 5 of these, we should be getting close to... Well, I don't know if it changes the weight. I love that. That is a great addition. Oh, you see that? I ain't opening that thing. You know? What are these? Energy cells. Take 3. That look weird. There's a lab uniform. Take. Alright, let's transfer. We're over encumbered again. Alright. What can we do? Okay. This anti-tank rifle, man. As much as I like it, that's something we would have to just come. We have 38 purified waters. Yeah. There's just no way. We'll be back for that. No, we won't. Well, we may, because we're going to come back for that. Alright. I just want to make it a point that we don't have many rounds. And these things seem very active. Alright. We may die here a few times. Told you. Oh, I don't like the manual reload function. I don't like it. Sometimes 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 enough is enough, and sometimes enough is too much. It's like, I understand, I do, I get it, right? In real life, you got to manually reload, but in video games, reloading is reloading. It's going to take a minute either way, whether you manually click it or whether it just automatically happens when you get to the end of your clip. I don't see the necessity in just making it so that it doesn't happen when you get to the end of your clip. Can I get over there? This wheel I don't like. As you can see, we're gonna die because of this stupid wheel. I think that's the dumbest. I'm gonna be honest. It's the dumbest addition to the game I've seen. It's unnecessary. It doesn't it doesn't enhance my playthrough or my abilities or anything about the playthrough for me. If anything, it just adds in an unnecessary and just an annoying feature. I don't mind the normal thing. If I don't need to add more things than what's there. You have to learn to live within the limits there. So, yeah, no, don't like it. Don't like it one bit. All right, so now, if I'm not mistaken, gunsmithery, handguns, now, for me, and this is where it becomes, I don't know. So, for me, gunsmithery, yes, right? Slightly influences how far you may shoot with ballistic-based devices and your ability to tweak all firearms to even deadlier heights at certain key ranks. So, I can get behind that one, right? It's not actually something I would have immediately chosen, but okay. And I'm choosing that one because that's what I saw in the video. Handguns, right? Um, we're going to be a gunslinger, right? So handguns made sense. When the hand-eye coordination that you have, um, this really kind of locks you into. So it's kind of like, all right, are we a gunslinger or are we going to be handguns or long arms? Your proficiency with long-barreled firearms, such as all forms of rifles and shotguns, this directly influences. I think we can pick that up as we go. Opportunity, a mixture of personal experience and to me that would make sense with the high luck value that we chose, right? Um, Also, hit chance from hip fire and other forms of probability, right? So that would make sense. This is one that I always grab, right? And so it's going to hurt my heart not to. It really is. Um, Another one for me is tinkering, right? Shaping materials, no easy task, but your hard work allows for a new armor and blacksmithing crafting recipes. at certain key ranks. This also affects the strength of set bear traps. So that is something. Um, I I have to think, and in truth, for me, I think it's going to come down to survival or opportunity. And I think with a gunslinger uh, build, opportunity makes the most sense. And then yes. So gunsmithery, yep, we will accept those. Um, uh, me, that is huge, right? Always compulsive hoarder. That is me exactly, right? So it will hurt my heart if I to not take it. One thing I will do though is where is it? Um, all right, so let's see, where is it? Oh, so it's not in here. Okay, so sometimes raw physical talent just outshines real world experience and genius. You gain a flat plus 10 skill points per level. Can't do it. So I don't really see anything that I just don't. Now, in truth, none of these truly fit what I think. Now, I think he chose hydrophobic, but um, yeah, yeah. Um, I think he chose hydrophobic, but if I'm going to choose that, then I'm going to choose this as well. we're gonna go. I'm gonna choose this. All right. And then while we're gonna do this, so we're gonna let all this stuff
Vault door cycling sequence initiated.
go on.
Please stand back.
And I'm gonna finish collecting. And then see our carry weight is now 180. So if we wanted to, yeah, excuse me. If we wanted to, we could, while that's happening, I hardly ever come back for the cry later, but we can come back and grab these. Even though we're going to be challenged here in a moment, again, with carry weight. Oh, I hate this thing. Now, one of the mods that I always add in to my playthroughs is one is immersive containers. I always make sure that Backpacks of the Commonwealth is installed some way. The survival quick save is there. You just saw that. Um, we don't have it yet, but I always have, I always make sure Cheat Terminal is there because, again, I use it for two things, but in truth, both of those are actually covered, so I probably don't actually need it, but it was, so that was something, just in case. Another thing that I always install is TSSMR, the Sole Survivor Military Service Record. And it's because for me, it's like I just don't, I'm not on board with the premise that we're the sole survivor, that we have a military record and a military background, yet we start out as a level 1 character. To me, that just cancels out all your whole entire background, and it just cancels out the entire premise. So for me, it's immersion breaking. Um, and it's immersion breaking, and it just doesn't really make sense, right? You have to be able to determine and say, hey, this is what I did before. And I mean, it is a little OP, in my opinion. We're going to go in here, and I'm going to fix something, so I'm going to be right back, okay? So just bear with me.
Enjoy your return to the surface.
All right.
And thank you for choosing Vault Tech.
I forgot to quick save before we jumped on this thing, because you don't know what's going to happen when you get out of here. There was another playlist that I was doing, and as soon as they come out, if there's a guy standing there, we're shooting him. Yeah, should be. We should get a pop up here soon. Everything. Quick save. All right, just in case.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. Okay, so we should get that. We're just gonna go default. Once that is in there, I am gonna do something that's cheaty, but it plays into my playstyle. So, and it's something that has to be done. Because as you can see, what do? I loot. And some of the mods that I add in here are for that purpose. Seriously, for that purpose of just being able to loot. Okay. Anything good in there? Never anything good in there. Alright. We don't have any weapon. I don't have anything in there, so yeah. And then, I mean, we could, but as soon as we get, all right, see, immersive containers, and the specific purpose of it is so that I can do exactly this. Walk up to a container, because nothing bugs me more than, I call it a set piece. A set piece is just there to look at. It has no functional purpose, and it just, and that annoys the crap out of me. You know, it's like, I understand. Sometimes you just want to put something there so that it looks a certain way. But it's like, there's nothing stopping you from doing exactly this. Right? If I can add a mod that does it, then you could have just done it in your game. And then so again, it's kind of a, we can agree to disagree kind of thing. Alright, what was the damage on this one? Okay, so we will replace you with that. And we got some rifles. That one's pretty powerful. Let's just stick that up there because we might just keep carrying that around with us. I don't know. And then put that one right there. Alright. Do we have energy weapons? We sure do. Probably have more rounds for that, but yeah, we sure do. Okay. Return. Let's go over here to aid and let's look at medicines. Always put this down here too, just in case. Alright. We'll use 22 to start. Oh my god. We'll switch to that. Okay. There it is. Alright, so now we're gonna make her army. Enlisted. She got the staff sergeant. She was where I'm going to say I really want to make her special forces, but that's not it. She's military police. Ooh, no, military police. She was close combat assault. Expect marksman or expert. And she was with the Rangers. She did medium. So that really dictates a lot of things, because medium will put you at like level 15. Light will put you at level 10. So it depends on how, and then I will give you that. Depends on how cheaty you want to be, right? But to me, that, for me, that's what really makes sense to me in starting out. It's like, hey, if I'm a former military vet, right? Now, this is important too, because this is my box of holding. Holy cow, what was that? A stink bug. Okay. Um, yeah, yeah. Luckily, it was a small one. Scissors, switchblade. All right, so a sealed vault. What a find. I was led to believe there was scarcely anything even close to human left alive in these parts, but it seems that Abernathy fellow was holding out on me. Namely, an entire intact pre-war vault, sealed tighter than a sunset sarsaparilla. I don't own one of these fancy pip boys, though. I don't own one of these fancy pip boys, though. So this wasteland safari ain't likely to transition to an archaeological excavation anytime soon. Regardless, I figure my services may prove of some use to anyone locked inside, assuming anyone's still kicking about in there. Anyway, I'm something of a biologist, so long as we're using both the term somewhat and biologist generously, the term I have coined is radiozoologist. I gather knowledge on mutant fauna of the waste and compile it into a bestiary encyclopedia of sorts. And when I can, I distribute that knowledge freely. So for anyone that happens upon this missive, here's some advice. Stick to the roads and avoid the woods if you're not well armed. To avoid ambushes, approach large vehicles and old structures very carefully. Always scan treetops and be sure to approach all shorelines and beaches slowly and with weapons drawn. Oh, and avoid swimming, just in general, trust me. Well, and our character is adverse to swimming anyway. I can't swim, so yes, it only makes sense for me. All right, hold on one sec. All right, what's this? Well, if anyone's down there, I hope this helps. Welcome to the Commonwealth, and if you want more tips or a healthy dose of knowledge, keep an eye out for my bestiary. I often leave the drafts and copies of my work behind for others that might find it useful. Paying it forward is important, and we all have to do our part out there. So if you need a helping hand, follow my trail. Good luck and stay safe out there. Dell Lincoln, your Wasteland pen pal. All right, all right, it's good to know. Oh, there you go. Look at that Vault Tech backpack. Let's equip it real quick here. All right, and then look at that bestiary number 12. Yes, we're not reading all that. Yeah, we're gonna take it. Anything? Okay. Well, they are ceramic, so might as well. He's got rat axe. Yep. Okay. Let's get that cram going. Let's get that going. All right. Let's wait. Quick save. Quick save. All right. And then, while we're here, let's go over the miscellaneous. Let's go over the settings. Backpacks of the Commonwealth settings. We're gonna have to hook ourselves up here in a minute, but first things first. Carry bonus. I don't care what anybody says. Plain and simple. Alright. Wait. What's my carry weight now? Didn't give me as much as I thought it was gonna give me, but okay. I think that's because this backpack here that we just picked up, yeah, doesn't have, it only gives you a plus 25, huh? Yep. So it's not one of the backpacks from the thing. All right, what was I doing? Oh, okay. Yeah, you see that? Right off the bat, I'm boosting them. We will take uh, Junk Junkie twice. All right, Life Giver. Um, your civilized towns have gained positive attention from the surrounding hills. Your maximum settlement population is increased by plus 10. I don't know that that's really a thing, but okay. Educated. Um, all right, first of all, we want to hide ineligible perks. We are going to do that. Mobile storage units. The limit of the flesh can mean nothing with nothing to something automated with automated parts and joints. The maximum carry weight of robotic companions is increased by 30, and they gain an additional 10% health. We'll figure that out later. Uh, Peppers, the bugger. You've exploited some poor code in the system while hacking. You gain one extra chance to guess the password. Hey, alright. Hollowed shots. Where you're aiming is just as important as anything else. Pistols have a slight chance to inflict minor bleed, and it was target practice. Hit further and more often while using pistols. Revolver proficiency. Cylinder specialist. Unlike magazines. Chambers rarely jammed. Luggage lord. What is that? They may be your friends, but since they're already along for the journey, they may as well carry something. Yeah, I know, right? We are grabbing the rifle proficiency. Long arm of the law. Shotgun. Swift learner. Knowledge is power. Prepare expanding into activities outside of Canada. Yep. Compost crofter. Sturdy job, but someone has to do it. You learn dozens of new recipes which require meats to create fertilizers at the junk workbench, but you must currently have that meat. See, sci-fi shenanigans, uh, martial proficiency, battle dancer, wide stride, swordsmanship. All right, beast of burden. Wild wrath, street fighter, even better. Okay. Let's get on over here. We got a lot of stuff too. So our gunsmithery, we're gonna take that all the way up to right off the bat. Okay, hacking, we're gonna take that up to 30. Handguns. Let's go to 50 real quick here, right off the bat. 30. Long arms. Okay, medicine. I know halfway through isn't really, it doesn't change over until you get, alright. Okay. We're gonna and actually take this down. Maybe there. Yep. Alright. So now You decided to hone your natural talents. You immediately gain plus 10 skill points to use as you see fit. Um, Multi-talented. You can immediately, yep, we're going to do that. And right off the bat, we're jumping to long arms. Accept. Yep. All right. And then, yep. Target practice. Actually, though, we want rifle proficiency. Long arm or the long. Locked and loaded rifles, a chance to stagger those. Yep, we want that. We want the scrounger. Your designs may be crude, but they certainly get the job done. You may craft basic ballistic firearms from scratch at any weaponsmith. I can't help it. You know, I just can't. I can't help it. I can't. No, just can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. All right. Okay. This is us. And we are ready. Well, not a decent carry weight for now. What is that over there? There's a birdie bird. Hmm. All right. We will not miss the opportunity. This, okay, so, okay. This is a clear example of set piece. The wooden crate is the only thing that you can loot, you can even interact with. See, crates like that it irritates me to no end. It's like, what is the point? All right, let's climb the ladder. All right, so nail, nailer. All right, we'll climb down. I don't think there's anything else to be done here. Dang it, I missed the hitbox on this. Alright, I'm down. I mean, it's cool, that animation, but it just irks me. The whole oh heck yeah. I was not taking any chances with that thing. Alright, the music is saying one thing. We have to check it out. Ooh, combat armor. Ooh, chest piece. Nice. Alright, so right off the bat. Ooh, they Enclave uniform. I don't know what that. We're not gonna do that one yet. Accessories. Okay. We're tired, so we're gonna need to get out of here soon. Technical document. Yeah, he could have been friendly. He could have been. But I wasn't. And the main reason for that is we're not taking any chances. He could have been like a sheep or something, you know? But why would you take the chance? Alright, order to withdraw, base location data. Alright. Let's get on out of here. We gotta get back home. I didn't see any kind of... It blew up, but I didn't see any droppings. Or whatever it was that we blew up. Oh, it's a turkey. Sorry. Sorry. Dude, seriously, man, you come running up on me in these times after seeing the stink bug and whatever that thing was that just blew up when I shot it. How do I get back to the gate? I mean, we're getting a lot of gourd blossoms, but I want the silk beams. Here it is. All right. Turkeys, of all things. All right. We are tired, so no. Oh, look at this. Mutant file. Bestiary. All right. Rats. Okay. The pizza tray. Pizza tray ain't doing me no good. Well, it's cloth. Okay, fine. Oh, I hate that. This here. That means, and then my, oh shoot. Um, seriously, feral raccoons. That's the thing. Oh, you're not coming back? I had 10 shots left. Alright, we're gonna need those shots. I'm hearing gunfire. I'm already hearing gunfire. Why is there gunfire? Is that gunfire or just music? Okay, so for me, whenever I come in here and the first thing I look at is how badly you get the how badly the clipping happens. You know, I do look at the floor. I want to see if the floor is stable, because right off the bat that tells me that there's a possibility that somebody added in a mod that's not jiving with Sanctuary, and right off right off the bat that needs to be fixed. I don't like I don't like additional mods to add things in just for the sake of adding it in. You know, I don't need anything to change the landscape or the terrain or anything like that. It is what it is, and this is how the game was put together. And if you want to add anything in, add something that makes it more stable, not less stable, and definitely not something that makes it more clippy, right? And that just stuff fades in and out, because then you're just ruining everything. Because look at that. I mean, when stuff disappears like that, the question is, what was the original? Were these bushes here originally? If they weren't, then don't add them. They don't need to be there. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be a desolate world. Okay? So don't add it. And you see here, this is the thing that really bugs me the most. This here. Because what you've done is you've added in a mod, you've done something that now is ruined what was already here. And so now I have to go and take it out and hope that I'm able to find it right? And hope that it's not anything overly major. Maybe, hopefully, it's only one mod that you added that wasn't necessary, and I can take it out and it doesn't ruin anything and it doesn't really break anything. But immersion is broken now. There's no floor. I don't understand. What was the purpose of the mod? There's now no floor. The floor is gone. It's invisible. Good job. And yes, that was sarcasm. Sarcasm and frustration, annoyance, and anger. And that part actually is one of the things that happens, I think, is just happening way too often. How many rounds do I have? I have 7 rounds. God dang it. And it just, every single mod list now that when you're downloading, it seems that there just seems, I don't know, that there's this need to just come in here and again, like I said, you're adding. For me, it's unnecessary additions, right? You're adding in stuff that just is 100% unnecessary. And given the choice, I would choose to leave out. Now, one mod in particular, and I don't know if that's the case, what concerns me is these signs here, these things here. Um, One mod that keeps getting put in is called Rebuild. And what it does is, supposedly, it allows you to rebuild. So when you go in, instead of scrapping these houses, you rebuild them. And no, I mean, if you really look at it, a lot of the mods, a lot of things that people have done over the years with Fallout is they have created and built their own special towns. So what was the need? What was the need to actually get rid of that ability so that you can't scrap and rebuild, you know, a build your own version of, say, Megatown, you know, or whatever they call it. And so there isn't this. So what you've done is you've taken away my ability to just build the town the way I want to build it, and you put this thing in called Rebuild that's now ruined the immersion and the look of the town, because when you go in there, there's no floors. The houses have no floors. There sure is a lot of words in this one. Right, seize, send. So 0 likenesses. Now, I only do that just to do that piece. There's absolutely no other reason, I think. There, pistol. So again, it's like I just love to see a mod list that says, "Hey, you know what? We're not going to really mess with the terrain and anything. If anything, we'll change up the E and B a little bit. We're going to make it look a little bit more dreary. We're going to make it look more more apocalyptic in a sense of like this. It's bright skies, sunshiny day. You know, if you change the hue of this to make it look more apocalyptic and dreary, right, and scary, maybe that would work better. There's something missing right here. Is there not? I wasn't expecting a giant. And this is the other thing. Look at that. Look at that hole. You see what that right there? That is unacceptable. And that is why and you, you will fall in and sink into that hole. So now all of a sudden you're not even able. Whoa. Seriously? All right, transfer all junk. All right, let's see if we can craft something real quick here. So yeah, I'm not 100% on board with some of the things that I'm seeing, right? And I'm never on board with when I go in here and I see the 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 clipping and the issues like that. No, it's just unacceptable to me. You see, we're sinking into the ground just walking along here. So, and this is, like I said, this is concerning to me because that tells me I'm thinking the rebuild mod is on here, right? And that adversely affects everything about the stability. And look at that. Look how far down that thing is. And I've gotten stuck in there. And then, I mean, you can use some, codes to get out of there if you need to. Um, and if you can figure it out, you can kind of jump your way out of there sometimes. But should you have to? Should you have to? Is that an acceptable trade-off for, again, I don't, to what benefit? I don't see the benefit of it. I don't see what you gained here. And pretty much, well, I've gained something. I've gained a 10-minute, rant on how poorly this list is so far is coming across. How poor this list is. And I've been interested in this list for a while now, but right off the bat, I'm finding a lot of things that are just annoying me from the list. So, yeah, there's going to be some major changes needed to keep this list going, and then hopefully it doesn't destabilize it, right? It doesn't cause it to just not work anymore, because there are things I'm going to have to remove. And, you know, one is we're going to have to figure out how to get this to be more stable and less clippy. And The problem with that is, and then here's where things don't bode well. Um, what I've seen. Oh, wrong gun. My daughter keeps calling me. All right, let's see. Target practice. Hit further and much more often while using pistols. We will take that. All right, and then what are we gonna improve? All right, we're gonna add to that one. Add to that one. Hold on. This one needs. Yep. Put that there. All right. Zoology. What is zoology? Study creature. Yeah. Let's build that one up. And then we still got 5 more. Alright. Boom. Alright. Okay. This is not good. Right. You. That's not good. Okay. Okay. Now this is going to be a mess over here, by the way. So, yep, look at that. Okay, my guy is tired. This is tin can. I don't know what happened to the bar that usually is here. Um, See, and then here's my thing. I don't have a problem with adding in clothing and weapons and stuff like that because I don't think those items take as much toll on the game as the landscape and terrain and things like that. Um, those are the ones that really take its toll, that really are resource intensive. And so that's why you see stuff like this. Adding in, say 10, 20, 30 different guns into the game doesn't create this. It's when you change things. Here's another quick test that we're gonna do real quick here. You see that? That's awful. That is 100% awful. Normally there's, yeah, that tree there. What am I doing? Normally you can climb this to get to the roof. You can't here. And I won't be able to until I remove that, whatever, the mod that's doing that. Now, there are other mods that, add in, try to make, like even the mods that try to make it more lush and more green. Why? It's a post-apocalypse. It's like, is it really necessary? I mean, I'm not gonna say they did a great job in capturing things, but they didn't do such a poor job that, yeah, we need you to come back and recreate everything, right? Especially since the engine apparently cannot handle it. Now, this root cellar, I believe, was put there by the Soul Survivor military service record. Now, this one's armored, but we're going to take it because I think. All right, so Vicky has a letter. It's me, Vicky. I need your help. Everyone has fled the apartments because the city has got too dangerous. I'm here alone, but I keep noticing shady people lurking around every corner. Make sure you're armed. Okay. We might have to go get Vicky. No, I don't know who she is. We did add Heather Casting though, so. And you see these mods that change the way the cans look. That's fine. That doesn't. That's that pistol really. Those are fine. It's just that you got to know how the game responds to mods. And my argument will always be, yes, it does not handle the terrain mods that well. And so whenever you do add all that stuff in, you're just opening up a can, and all the stuff that's going to happen or could potentially happen just sucks. So this is us so far. Like, and then even this camera, I really hate this camera. I don't even know what this camera's doing. Seriously, what are you doing? Why are you all the way over there? And maybe that's me. Maybe I screwed up the settings. Trying to get in here and trying to, like I said, fix. Where is it? Nope. No. No. Custom camera. So maybe it's me. All right, let's go back. It's originally at 30. Let's just put it back to 30. All right. So yeah, that did move it back. I just don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the custom camera. If I, if I didn't think it would mess things up, I would just remove it. So I know, and here's the funny thing, right? So after a bit, you'll say, "Well, John, why do you even use mods in the first place? Why are you doing these mod lists?" And it's like, well, because there are some aspects, some things that the mods add in that are actually pretty decent. It's the it's the unnecessary stuff that it really just bugs me. It's once you get to the point where you've added in things that are just completely 100% unnecessary to awake tired. Well, of course I'm awake tired because you don't let these kind of beds give you any kind of rest. I don't think the mathing is mathing right there. I wake up even more tired. Oh, that's just awesome. All right. We need food. What's a cook bug? I'm properly fed. Okay. We're not drinking a rat horner. Oh, gives you a ton of rats though. All right. So so it's kind of right now it's like a trade-off. And the problem though that we're gonna run into, and I can already tell you what's gonna happen. We'll fix we'll fix Sanctuary. We'll fix it to the point where the streets aren't messed up, and that'll be something that's very simple. But what's going to happen is that we're going to go down to Concord. We're going to run into issues there, and then we're going to go down into the Commonwealth, and we're going to run into issues there. And then basically everywhere where there's added terrain, landscape, all those mods that are trying to overhaul or rewrite or redo what I guess the perceived notion is that Bethesda got wrong, you're going to run into issues, right? Clipping and things like that. And it just gets very difficult to remove all of it because certain patches and because once you remove the mod you have to remove the patches, and then certain other mods have already been installed based on those mods, so they depend and require those mods to be there. And then so all of a sudden you're trying to remove 40, 50 60 mods just to fix the problem of pen mod. And so then it gets very, and then the game, and then as you, like I said, once you start removing certain mods, the stability of the game starts to go, right? Yeah. Because right now in the game, although it's clipping a lot, right, is still running. And what I found out, or what I've been finding out is once we get down to the Commonwealth, when you have, you're not infinitely, but an extremely, when you have this extreme increase in NPCs, different buildings, all kinds of things, it's so much more, and it's way more resource intensive down once you start getting down towards, Diamond City and Good Neighbor and all them, that the stability just goes, and then all of a sudden you're crashing all the time. And that's what's happened to the other mod list that we put in there. And again, we just stopped at fixing Sanctuary because, it was just irritating to run around Sanctuary and have the ground fall out underneath you. Okay, so I'm gonna pause things and then watch. When I come back, you'll see. All right, guys, uh, right back here. So what I've done is a few things. So custom camera is gone. Yeah, out, gone, out of my face. Um, Now we are going to go up here, and I found rebuild. And so we're going to come up here. I should, once we get up here, save and then reload, but I am going to save so I can also at some point reload once it crashes, if it crashes. But we're going to do a save, and I'm just going to overwrite that one there. All right, so it's early in the morning. We're still getting the clipping, so so we're still getting the clipping, and the tree is not better. So something else is causing it. Usually when I take rebuild out, that's, there it is. There it is, guys. See that? That's what I'm talking about. And this isn't Starfield, so we don't have a jetpack, right? And then so when you fall into something like this, you can't get out. There's no there's no walls to climb, there's no incline. You're just in there. And hold on, let's go, and yeah, see? So the one thing you have to do, release TCL. Alright. Then you can get yourself out of there, come back, turn it back on, and that should put you back down on the ground. But what that also means, though, it is now not safe, because, right, the ground is not safe to walk on. And then just give me one moment, real quick here. We're going to do this. Okay, so that wasn't it. Hold on. Yeah, right here. Okay. Yeah, so it's still not working. But, and then that is where we are, folks. That is literally what we have to contend with right here. And for me, the trade-off and any benefits you get, I don't know what it would have been. Right now, it's not really making sense for it to do this, so hold on one sec. Okay, guys, so we went in. So I had to find all the references to the rebuild settlements, right? So there was like 3 or 4 in here. So I removed the one in the beginning, and then just to show you exactly what happens immediately afterwards. You see our roads right now? No problem. Now, what does that remove? Well, it removes if I were to go into if I were to go in and say into the workshop mode, right? Instead of scrapping this, what it would do is it would give me the option to repair for like 200 steel or 200 whatever. And in doing so, that would be it. So as you can see here, so we basically, to have that option, right? We're choosing to then have unstable and roads that you can just fall right into. That doesn't make any sense. That why would you choose that? Why would you want to do that? Here's another thing. Um, this thing here. So I'm not good at running up this tree, but so there again, that tree is now stable. That floor has not disappeared one time yet. So again, it's like, what are you doing? And let me ask you this: does Sanctuary look worse because of it? I would prefer it to look this way and not have the clipping and everything than for the roads to disappear and me to fall into sinkholes. All right, we got one more set of creatures to deal with. Shoot. So again, it's at the question becomes, at what cost? At what cost? And you have to also ask the question, why? Why was there a need to put those in there? Why was there a need to say, okay, well, I just want to be able to click a button, and am I lazy? Is that why? Click a button and just rebuild, right? And it's like, well, I mean, tons of people have spent a lot of time and a lot of effort just going through and rebuilding. And for some people, that's fun. So, granted, that should be, at some point, there should be like a modular type, if you want to, if that's the right word, aspect to to lists, right? It's like pick and choose which pieces you think fit into your playstyle best, and that would be the optimum list right there. Would be one where you can, pick and choose which mods can stay and can be, run and incorporated, because obviously there's a major patch that comes, and I had to go into the patch and disable the mods that were going to be that are patched into that. So the patch creates there's a just a basically a major uh, patch for this list that then um, creates kind of some output files. And once you get rid of the offending mods that are causing all the issue, then what happens is, or what happened is, or whatever, what happens is that you are now stuck with a lot of errors that are saying, hey, you got missing masters, right? Basically missing mods that this file is dependent on. And so you have a choice, and then you have to find every single reference, every master is reference and decide, okay, can I get rid of it or do I have to reinstall it without that mod installed so that when it creates this output file, the output file does not reference that mod any longer. And it is going to require me to go back and really look at that because I disabled some some of the patches, but I didn't fully just um, do that to the point where it's all right. So you can see right now I'm just scrapping. And then what I have is Crazy Earl's scrapyard. Now, what Crazy Earl does, what this one does, is you can see instead of maybe getting just like 4 steel and 2 rubber or something like that for scrapping this, we get a bunch of components, right? That actually makes more sense. So, and then the main reason I do it is for the house. I got so tired of just getting like 20 steel. Now, maybe this is more steel than you should get, more resources than you should get, but to me, that is much better. And you see, I'd rather have this than that button that says, hey, repair, or, use 200 steel to repair this. I don't understand it. I just don't understand. See, with the car, it was different. I'll show you on this other truck. But look at the light lamppost. So you can, when you install the mod, make it do lower numbers, right, to make it more stingy. If if you're thinking it's too cheaty, like, and then for me, if I'm gonna scrap a car, I don't want 5 steel or 10 steel. There's other things, right? And then, wait, let's get, I think this all one piece? And then here, there's still a couple of gears and screws along with the steel frame. So to me, these additions, adding these pieces in, and then finding the offending part, pieces that are causing all kinds of trouble and um, issues is very important. The other thing too is when sometimes people do like try to do the tree overhaul and everything, it's like if we haven't figured out how to 100% replace the asset, then maybe we shouldn't use a mod that just puts down something over top of it. And then so, because a lot of times you'll end up and you'll have, say, a mod that wants to put down a different tree. They'll just put it in its place, and then so you still have this tree, and then another tree, and then one is clipping through the other, and you're like, was that the desired effects? Is that better? And the answer is absolutely not. It is not better, and it shouldn't have been the desired effects. It's like, yeah, no, it didn't work. So just go with what's there. And then so one of the things I do is I come through and then I will clear or clean everything. Not clean everything up, but you see, and then some things in the list still don't get changed or updated. So those are things you have to deal with. So let's see what we got. I don't know what this is. Oh, fire gecko egg. Okay, whatever that is. I don't know what that is. So this is locked. So what I'll do is I'll put, say, I can build 11 of them. So I'll just string, say, 3 of these together. And then I want a thing here, right? Alright, and then we can connect here, and then connect there. And then the next thing over is I want a water pump. And it will connect. Alright. Food. And while we can, do we have, alright, so we can put more gird down, we can put 4 more. Whoop, right there. There. Let's see if we can get one. Oh, it's right there. Okay. We can put another melon down. Want to put it down where it's gonna make sense. Okay. Alright, razor grain. Always throw that over here, and then as I get more, I can extend that out. Okay, so that's what we got. And the reason being is once you put somebody, like, you assign them here, then they'll assign, with the rest of the right thing. And then while we're in here, and I do all this before I talk to Codsworth. Now, there's usually 3 to 4 houses that I will use for the bunk houses. This is what I kind of how I refer to them. But one of the things I make sure I do is, now what, this is another thing too. I always got bothered by what you got for the refrigerator. So you see the fridge door, and then the fridge. So to me, that's more desirable, and it just fits better into my narrative and how I see things going. All right, so, and then basically, these houses really are just bunk houses, right? These kitchens are no longer kitchens; they're not kitchen. And then so it's just a matter of putting racks where people can sleep. And then I don't try to make it 100% perfect. Okay, so that won't go anywhere. So we'll put the bed right here. And it's just, hey, we'll put a rack right here. A little couch where people can sit. Get rid of some of that trash. Right, clean it up a little bit. And then we'll scrap that. We'll scrap that. I think we got stuff in there, but we don't need to scrap it. So. And then we can put a rack in here. This way. And then we can put one. Can we fit it in there? No, but we can fit it right here. You gotta be careful too, because you don't want to block areas. Alright? This is no longer a bathroom. So in truth, we can then fit a bunk right there. And then another one right there. And then with this one, we could probably slide you up a little bit more and over. And how many beds we got? We got 9, which is a good start. I mean, and if we wanted to, we could come in here and clear out a bunch of stuff. But right now, that's what we're gonna do. Excuse me. And then let's go on over here. I don't know what that was. So we're gonna put this here, and this will also tell us if sim settlements is installed or not. I can't remember if it is. I don't have a feeling one way or the other about it. It's not necessary for me in my playthrough. It doesn't really do anything or change how I play. I mean, I don't know. They just, it's cool, but it's a little tedious, especially some sentiments to the guy that comes up and starts talking to you. It's a little annoying. All right, so we have a person now, so we need to have some defenses, and I forgot all about that, by the way. All right, so we can build 12. So let's see. Right here. Boom. And then we'll put one right over here. Then we'll turn it around. Right there. Right there. Like that. And then, how many more I can do? 6, but I'm gonna do just 2 real quick here. In my opinion, if I can get them up there, will it let me? And if it doesn't let me, then let's see. one here, and then one kind of there. Since we, oh shoot, I don't know if we looted that car already. I'm assuming we did. So you see, that's a little worrisome, but oh well. Okay, you have a job to do. Okay, see that, so he's already assigned. Already assigned. Already, okay. Seriously? Um, he just took all of it? Seriously? Alright, I don't know what to put her on then. Yeah. I got nothing for you until, well, actually, here, let's do this. I mean, we got 3 settlers? Alright, boom. And then you.
Okay.
Alright. And don't worry, we're not going to put you out here on your lonesome without some help. Know what I mean? Even though it says contents um, transferred, part of me is like, what contents? You didn't have any when I tried to get stuff out of you the first time. Right. All right. All right. So see, she's just gonna patrol the town, and there's a third guy here. I'm not sure what we're gonna have him do, but I tell you what, we should have another guard post right there, and then she's gonna patrol between them. He's not assigned to anything yet. So one of the things we can do is create that. No, we can't. But we can create a scavenging station. We're gonna set that right here. Can we? Boom. And then, where's Broham? Where's Broham? There he is.
Got it.
See? And then, we need yep. And you see, so she now has 3 markers that she's going to patrol, right? And we can hope, hold on, right here, and then we need 1 more. We'll go right there. So that's all that we can do. And then there we are. Boom. We got a little town going. I'm going to take this guy and pick him up. And then we're going to move him right there. Okay. Then we're going to exit. And we're going to do...
If you ain't been up to see Greyguard, you should go. Whole place is run by robots.
Right. If I'm not mistaken. Yep, right behind here. Fishing rod, gold watch, fertilizer, and a Brazil cleaner. Okay. Let's see, what can we make? We'll make one of those. That's probably the only thing. Oh. We can make one of those. One of those. One of those. One of those. Alright. Steroids. Alright. So I'm not sure what the scavenging station really does for you, but you know, it is what it is. Alright. So one of the things we can do over here is we have accessories, but we have these 2 pieces, but so oh, we've leveled up kind of majorly. Okay. Wait. Yeah. So we have belts. That. So that replaces and not sure. Well-heeled gambler suit. Let's see what we got. Okay. She's, yeah. She's kind of mousy, in truth. But we can deal with that. She's very thin. We might have to edit that and put a little more meat on our bones. We can do that easily by coming here. Nope. So, if I'm not mistaken, it would be game operations, player manipulation, and we can change our appearance. And so we wanted to. So what we're just gonna do is we're gonna muscle her up a little bit. Unfortunately, we can't see what it does. I'm not gonna worry about that. But we're gonna just muscle her up a little bit and see what we got. Accept and done. Yeah, she's a little bit more muscled up, but not a whole lot. And then, why can't you not wear the under stuff? Whoa. Okay. We'll take it for now, so we can make the pompous stuff. But you can see that this the stability and the solidness here in the road is just, I don't understand, why would you give that up? Why would you? All right, so let's talk to him and call it a day.
Breathe. Oh, it's really you. Well, of course I'm still here.
Oh shoot.
Surely you don't think a little radiation could deter the pride of General Atomics International? But you seem the worst for wear. Best not let the hubby see you in that state, huh? Where is Sir, by the way?
Well, they came in. They killed him.
Oh, Mum, these things you're saying, these terrible things, I believe you need a distraction. Yes, a distraction to calm this dire mood. It's been ages since we've had a proper family activity. Checkers, or perhaps charades. Oh, Sean does so love that game. Is the lad with you?
All right. He's been kidnapped, but I'm gonna find him.
It's worse than I thought. You're suffering from hunger-induced paranoia. Not eating properly for 200 years will do that, I'm afraid.
That's not possible.
A bit over 210, actually, Mum. Give or take a little for the Earth's rotation and some minor dings to the old chronometer. That means you're 2 centuries late for dinner. Perhaps I can whip you up a snack. You must be famished.
You're acting weird. What's wrong?
Mum, it's been just horrible. 2 centuries with no one to talk to, no one to serve. I spent the first 10 years trying to keep the floors waxed, but nothing gets out nuclear fallout from vinyl wood. Nothing! And don't get me started about the futility of dusting a collapsed house. And the car! How do you polish rust?
Alright, look, stay with me. Gotta focus.
I'm afraid I don't know anything, Mum. The bombs came and all of you left in such a hurry. I thought for certain you and your family were dead. I did find this holotape. I believe Sir was going to present it to you as a surprise. But then, well, everything happened.
Okay. Well, thank you, Oswald. That's something.
You're welcome. Now, enough feeling sorry for myself. Shall we search the neighborhood together? Sir and young Sean may turn up yet.
Yeah, there's nothing left. It's all gone.
Then they're really gone, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mom.
Look, come on, Codsworth. I need your help, man. Where can I go?
Well, you could head into the city. Concord is nearby. But the people there aren't as put together as I am.
Really? You're not holding up very well. There's still people in Concord?
Yes, although they're a bit rough. You remember the way? Just across the southern footbridge, out of the neighborhood, and past the Red Rocket Station?
I remember.
Remain here and secure the home front.
Thanks, Cogworth. All right, so that's where we are, and I think that's where we're gonna leave it. Oh gosh. She looks very happy. Not at all. But yeah, that is our beginnings of trying to get into the Wasteland Reborn Wabbajack mod list. That is it. Aside from a few shortcomings and some issues, with the with basically the landscape mods and stuff like that, here we are. I mean, we'll see how long it lasts, because the key is I see future problems down the line as we keep trying to move forward, right? And as we get into more populated, busier areas, where you're going to end up getting a lot of, where you're going to face a lot of different enemies, and that's going to really become resource intensive and cause a lot of issues too, I think. So we will see. But if you enjoyed this, remember, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. All right, later.